Alrighty, there we go. So let's keep working on today's work, March 20th. So firstly, all right, we need to have the background color of the simulator itself, which is the views of background color. What you could do is definitely modify views period background color and using assignment operator to assign a new color, such as maybe system yellow. All right, system yellow is the keyword here. All right, and the UI elements declarations here. So let's probably these ones are going to be LB, and it is going to be a UI label, and with the parentheses and return LB, right? Okay. And hold on first. And you may also open your camera, so therefore I'll be knowing what you are doing. All right.
Yeah, my Zoom's reconnecting. Just wait.
Sure. All right. But you can sh open your current Zoom, whatever the computer's
Oh,
camera.
okay.
All right. Um,
Do you see it?
yes. Okay, that's
Okay.
good. All right, for these, all right, what do you
Oh,
need
it's
to,
reconnected.
yeah, yeah, now I see it. All right, good. So what do you need to
Actually, I just
memorize?
closed that one because like it's lagging out the internet
Uh,
network.
always keep the Xcode one, all right? So use the MacBook one because later on I need you to share your MacBook screen, so therefore I'll be knowing what you're doing, right? Okay, good. All
Yeah, I'll
right,
just close it for now because like it's not working really well.
sure. Definitely you can do that. All right. So
Okay, yeah, I
these
left.
this one is a what? This one is an instance, right? Instance or object of UI label here. Um, and how would you better understand this one here? So I guess if you compile this code, you'll be saying, all right, I can assign some initial value here, maybe a hello, and LB period font is going to be UI font. And you could definitely design your own font. For instance, I'll be using bold system. So for instance, this is 18. And I can also define its a background color, such as this one is going to be maybe black, right? And then the text color is going to be, I guess it's going to be something opposite, so which is white. And LB, I guess this is good for now. All right. So this is basically UI element, and in your mind, there's supposed to be a what a picture, and then you are seeing, okay, this is a display box, and it is a background color black and the white font color, right? Okay. And when we have done these, right, then you can create a set of UI, right? Set of UI, and firstly is a view period add sub view, and you're going to add a display box into the base view, right? Okay, so this one here. And then what you want to do is define is a location, right? You want to place it somewhere else inside this program. So that is going to be display box. Firstly, you do need to define some top anchor, but in order to use auto layout, you do want to turn it translates auto resizing mask into constraints to be false. You have to turn these to be false in order to use auto layout. And what you need to do next is basically set up its location and a view period at the top. And this one is going to be 100 pixel point and turn that into true. And what you could do is basically copy the code, right? 4 times maybe. And leading anchor, if you remember what is a leading anchor is basically the left anchor, right? So, and then I'll be changing that into a leading anchor. And this one, I need a 10 points away from the left corner, right? And I also need to create a trailing anchor, right? A trailing anchor. And this one is going to be the trailing anchor. The trailing anchor is always going to be negative number, all right, in the most of the time. And for the next auto layout, this one can be just a height, right? A height anchor. So the height anchor can be a multiplier or it can be a constant. So I'll be using 40 as this one here and then turn it to be true. And I'll just call this method here, setup UI. And what am I going to do is I'm going to the scene delegate and I'm going to change that into what, March 20th, right? And compile the code. Let's see what is going on here. All right, it takes a bit while. And for these, you also need to memorize it, right? You also need to memorize. So for instance, window, you initialize it by a UI window, and a window scene is going to be this UI window scene. And the root view controller is going to be this guy, right? And you assign VC to Windows question mark and the root view controller, and you do need to make a key unadvisable. So for these, you have to memorize it. That's all you need to do. All right, and compile the code, and let's see what is going on here. All right, 20th. It takes a bit while to compile. This is the 20th, right? Yes. There we go. And then we have this UI here, right? And a hello. But I guess what we could modify this better is change the text alignment to be center, right? And then run the code one more time. And then we have a centralized uh, text alignment of this display box here, right? So this is how do we properly set up the UI, just like that, right? Okay. And suppose we are going to create another objects here. So for instance, maybe these ones are going to be info box, right? So I'm going to turn that into like information, right? Information. And I want to place it right below my display box. So what I need to do is I need to copy the code right here. And definitely I do need to add my info box into the view, right? Okay. And I will just change the subject, okay, into info box, right? But the trick is, all right, as you can see, the top anchor, right? So the top anchor, suppose I want to place it right below the display box. So I do need to turn that into what? Into display box period bottom anchor rate. Okay. And for the constant rate, so if I put 100 and I run the code one more time, then you'll be saying, okay, so this one, all right, is too far away. It's just too far away. And if it's too far away, some for some reason we don't want, right? Okay. So let's see that. And then I need to turn that 100 into a distance that will better fit these two objects, right? Okay, so let's check it out. Okay, there we go. We have hello and informations, right? So do you have any questions in terms of this demonstration?
Uh, I get it.
All right. Okay, so now I have another question. All right, so what if I want to create probably probably something like, all right, suppose I want to have a these, right? I want to have an image here, and I want a label here, and I want multiple labels here, and maybe I want another text view here. So this is like an info card, right? So it's like a student's ID or a driver license, right? Okay. Now the problem is I want to have a square. So this is square. And I also want to properly set up other UI, so position, right? So then let's see how will we handle this, right? Okay. So firstly, all right, I guess what we need to do is probably create the object, right? Okay. There we go. We want to have maybe info card, right? Okay. The info card is going to be UI view, and I'll be just okay, IV equals UI view, right? Okay, and the return IV here, right? Okay, so this is UI view, and this is UI label. They're different, right? They are different. As we can see, IV doesn't have text, so that simply means it doesn't display string variables. No, it don't. It doesn't. So therefore, if you simply just copy everything right here, all right, and paste it, and even though you change the ILB into IV, it wouldn't work. Why? It is because UI view doesn't have text, so you have to delete it, right? And UI view doesn't have font, so you have to delete it, right? Okay, there we go. Okay, but it does have the background color. This is no problem. Text color, no. Okay, you have to delete that. And the text alignment, no, you have to delete this, right? But you also want to keep these. Okay, all right. So the background color, so probably maybe let me use a white. Maybe let me use a black, all right? But as you can see, so we want to have a layer, right? A layer period corner radius. Corner radius is a rounded corner, right? So I'm going to have 5. And the layer period of border width is going to be 2. And IV period layer period of border, let's say maybe border color. So border color usually is going to be the color opposite of the right? So I'm going to have maybe a light gray or, but maybe let's have a white background color, and then this one is going to be a black, and then later on you can all absolutely modify that. Oh no, I want to keep my original design. So a black background color, and then maybe border, I want probably maybe let's this can be purple. Probably this is a good color scheme. And this one is going to be a CG color rate. Okay, fair enough. So, and then, okay, view period add sub view. I'm going to add my info card, right? Okay. As you can see, so um, you can definitely create an array. So this is a display box and info box, right? And the info part, right? Okay. And later on, you can use a for loop, right? So for item in AR and a view period add a sub view and you add item in, right? Okay. The reason why I did this is because I want to show you step by step. But in the future development, there could be more than 3, maybe 5 or 10 or 20s. And if you want to do this one by one, it's just a little bit not too fun. All right, you can use a for loop to handle the work by one click, right? Okay. So I'll be keeping both of these. All right. Okay, good. So we have info cards here, and then and definitely you do need to define the info cards locations, right? Okay, so definitely what you probably need to do is, well, again, just copy this again, but info cards, paste it, paste it, paste it, right? And I suppose you are going to place it right below the info box, right? And exactly the same trick, right? But height, you probably want to change that a little bit, right? For this, I'm going to show you a new trick here. The new tricks are going to be, I'm going to delete that, okay. A constraint. Now you could actually use a multiplier here. So this multiplier is going to be a views period height anchor. And you can always make a multiplier, which means a percentage. So for instance, I want this info card always be 25%, so which is 0.25, right? Okay, and it's active to be true. And let me run this code real quick, and then it will show you the UI real quick. Let's see that. All right, as you can see, I have something I want here, right? I have something I want here. Okay. And let's see this. Probably I'm going to turn the with maybe 5, which is a little bit bigger, and the radius maybe into 10. Then you then you could possibly see that it's going to be a bit thicker and easier to see, right? Okay. There we go. And then we have that. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we want to change to this one into system purple, this one into black, and you can always check the color scheme, right? Okay, so and probably, all right, let's see that. Okay, all right, yep, okay. Uh, Maybe we want to change the background color into a different color, probably, but I'm going to save that for you, all right? And you want to probably handle the color scheme a little bit, right? And I guess maybe I want to switch it back, all right? So, and you could also change that into purple, which is a regular purple color here, right? Okay. And then we have done the info card, right? So the locations here. But I'm going to just to give you another inspirations here. So this is always 1/4, right? I can change that into 50, right? So I can change that into 0.5. And if it's 0.5, as you can see, it's going to be bigger. It's always going to be 50% of any device, all right? If you're using an iPhone 16, it's this size. If you're using an iPad, it's a 1/2 of the iPad height. All right. Okay. This is using a little bit mathematics, right? Okay, so it's the fraction. Good. And whenever you have done these, so maybe let's add a what? Let's add a maybe a image view, right? So for the image view. So I'll be doing it real quick. So this one is going to be maybe profile image view, right? Okay. And then I guess what we really need to do is change that into UI image view, right? Okay. But you do need to turn that into image view as well. Okay. And then everything stayed the same probably. Okay. But for the background color, maybe I want a dark gray. All right. And then everything stayed the same. Okay, everything stayed the same, probably. All right. And then guess what? The things I just will add it, right? So this one is going to be profile image view, right? And imagine in the future, I guess you wouldn't just create this UI one by one and add it, right? I guess you create all of them at once, right? Something like that. And then you just plug everything into this array. This is the more professional way to handle the mobile application development here, right? Okay, there we go. And then you wouldn't be worried, you wouldn't worry about, all right, did I forget to add something into the view? No, you wouldn't, right? Okay. But somehow, right, now you really don't want to add it to this array. It is because you are actually adding the profile image into where? Into the info cards, right? So now this is the problem here. So now what you need to do is, all right, is info card, then add subview, right? You're adding what? You're adding profile image view. Makes sense, right? It's like a layer by layer. You have a big box and you put some small boxes into it and you keep adding small box into it, right? Okay. It's something like that logic here. And as you can see, the profile image view is now inside the info box, right? Okay. And then how would you manage it, the what? The profile image views location, auto layout here. Well, pretty much the same logic here. you do need to get is itself right here. So copy, paste, paste, and the paste, and then paste, right? But for these, all right, so these ones are going to be the info cards. These ones are going to be the top anchor. 10 is good. And for the leading anchor, do you really set that to be the view? No, it is actually the info card, right? And this one is the info card as well. But do you set the trail anchor? I doubt, because as you can see, on the right-hand side, it also, this profile image view has two labels here. So therefore, my recommendations is you use a width anchor here. The width anchor is going to be how big it is. So for these, definitely you want to use info cars itself and the height anchor multiplier, I guess. What you want to do is probably to get uh how big do you want? Probably, mm, that's the question, right? Therefore, why don't we, all right, we have a lead anchor here, right? And why don't we define, uh, maybe let's check out this here, right? Okay, I guess probably what is going to be a good dimensions here? Probably I would say maybe half, right? Let's say half, right? Okay, so therefore, these ones are going to be zero point 0.5, right? And this one is going to be zero point 0.5. I guess that's the deal, right? All right, if this is the deal, all right, and then I need to put it here, right? And then I need to run this code again. Let's see what is going on here. Good. All right, then we have this UI design, right? Okay. Uh, for this part, do you have any questions? Hello, Alex. Do you have any questions?
No.
Good. All right. And then my next question is how do I place this label right next to it? All right. So then I'll be copying this, right? I need a label here. This label, I want to have this is like maybe username box, right? Okay, pretty straightforward. Or maybe title or anything you want, right? So this is maybe username, right? Username. And guess what? I will just do the same old trick here. And this is the user name box, right? Okay. And what do I do next? All right. So then probably now this is a new trick. All right. So I have a username box here, paste the paste, the paste, and the paste, right? Okay. So as you can see, I can use the same top anchor, right? The top anchor, but I guess the leading anchor right here, therefore, right here, you need to think a little bit more. I need to place this user name box next to my profile, right? So therefore, the leading anchor, it is supposed to be the info card. No, I guess it's going to be profile, right? And guess what? It's the profile, it's the trail anchor. The trail anchor is a right anchor, right? And then do this. Okay. And do I set up the width anchor? Well, since these objects doesn't have anything on the right hand side, right? In terms of that, what we could do is we can simply just have the trail anchor and then set it up by the info card period trailing anchor and turn that into -10, and then should be fine. For the height, so my recommendations is probably just use a constant, right? So this is a height anchor, const, constant to be constant. Let's say probably I want that one to be, well, then you need to do a little calculation here. So for instance, suppose I need well, probably I just need maybe 30 is good enough, right? For the username display. All right. And then I guess I get everything I want here, right? And then I'll be running this code real quick. And let's see what do I get. I have a username box. and I have a profile image view, and there we go. I think so. I have a username here, right? But I guess probably I want to change is the UI colors a little bit here. And then it's going to be maybe a dark gray. And then let's see what is going on here. And you probably want to have, maybe this one's going to be a white background color. And then the text is going to be black. And then you can actually see, all right, it does have, it does have the background color and the content. There we go. All right, okay, username here. All right, so this is how would we design an info card. Okay, step by step. All right, okay. Um, so and this is going to be some demonstrations here, right? And I'll be giving you some lecture practice here. So okay, it would be right here. Okay, so this is lecture practice, all right? So first, okay, so please do what? So please create um, additional UI elements such as UI label and UI text view to manage um, to manage uh, the com the complete info card development rate. Okay. And number two is using auto layout to handle the UI, right? Okay. Number three. All right, number three. All right, import your profile image, right? And the display the image at UI image view. So what does that mean? So eventually you want to create your own info card is probably uh, yeah, something like that, and it will benefit your future mobile application development, such as a social media platform. So therefore, it can be a very good looking design here, right? Okay. So let's see. Okay, and I guess I'll be sending this code to you, right? So basically today's work is adding a info card below the hello and informations, right? And adding more details onto the info card, which is just a like a little 2.0, just a little 2.0. All right, and I guess the homework is finished UI development, 100% similarity except the image. And you can also check the old Excel code projects where you can find the image view and a UI button. All right, okay. And I'll be just placing these right here. Okay, and you can download this and paste it at your end directly. Yes, yeah, this is a good homework, and you finished that perfectly. Good. Oh, and by the way, this is supposed to be the homework, by the way. All right, this is the homework. Okay.
Oh, I thought it was the yellow because you put
All right.
the
Yeah.
yeah.
And I guess today, all right, so what you need to do is probably firstly create something like that. All right, so create something like this. Okay, makes sense, right? Okay. You need to finish all of these details here. And okay, I guess. Yes. Good. Do you have any questions?
I think you got it.
Good. All right, then I'll